Right now, I'm going to teach you a meditation for positive energy exercise called The Miracle of You. That's only 2 minutes, so you can finally stop stress and anxiety by taking positive and energetic control of your life. This meditation for positive energy technique is the first of 7 in this week's series. It's super simple and you will know how well it works for you straight away. After the 2-minute meditation for positive energy, I'll also outline how to know if you or someone you know is depressed and the best way to beat depression, offer comfort in dealing with continuous setbacks, and guide you in integrating everything you learned today in a special finale exercise. I'm Speed Psychologist and best-selling author Aleks George, and we're now in session. First, give yourself a current mood rating, 1 being very low to 10 being very high mood, and a second 1 being very low to 10 being very high stress/anxiety rating. Just go with whatever mood number or stress anxiety number that first comes to mind. Now, I need you to promise me that I will have your full attention and best effort for just 2 minutes, okay? If you are sure that you can do that right now, then get ready. Also, please note, make sure you are in a safe place, and if you feel unusually uncomfortable during any exercise, stop immediately and go have a drink of water. So, are you ready? Really? To feel better? Just 2 minutes from now. You sure? Great. Let's begin. Sit up tall, shoulders back, head up, and close or shield your eyes if safe to do so. Now follow my simple instructions. Breathe deep, be strong, focus all of your attention on relaxing into the rhythm and flow of these meditative rhymes that grow your acceptance of the miracle. Your conception is a 1 in 400 quadrillion miracle. It cannot be denied. Cease to hide. Let doubt subside and allow this tremendous truth to now guide you. It is your energetically evocative, positive prerogative to own the miracle and unique talents that are you, all of you, and trust in your duty to adjust what you must to express all you possess. Express all you possess with finesse and positively progress into deeper and wider possibilities. Now allow an intense new insight, a life change for immediate use will come in 3, 2, 1. There it is. Express what you possess. Express what you possess and positively progress in showcasing the miracle that is you. That's right. That's right. That's it. We're done. Simple, right? Easy, hey? Feeling better? I'm sure. Really, check in now and review if your mood and stress anxiety scores have improved. If you gave me your full attention and best effort, then I bet they have. How much did they improve? 10%? 20? 30, 50 or more, and in just 2 minutes? If your scores didn't improve, that's okay. You may just need a few more repetitions or may find it easier to benefit from a different 2-minute brain exercise. I will release 7 related meditations over the week, and they're always just a couple of minutes. Each exercise builds on the last, and they become easier to do and more effective as you get used to them. Before we move on, I want you to really consider how your life could be better by consistently using these kinds of exercises? What would it be like to be in control and unaffected rather than being controlled by the news and social media, work bullies, and negative people? What would it feel like to have greater peace of mind and focus so you can perform at your best and feel good about who you are and what you do? In a moment, I'm going to answer 1 or 2 modern psychology questions from the community. To connect with me and the community, just go to 2minutebrain.com and join the email list. You can, of course, like, rate, subscribe, and follow me on this channel, but to enjoy free giveaways like my best-selling books and programs, which are only available to subscribers through the website, and to personally ask me and get an answer to your own important psychology question, it must be through my free-to-join email list. Questions like, how do you forgive people, family, friends who have hurt you in the past? I'm going to answer that in the next session. And then all the way back from episode 1 of the Meditation for Anxiety series, questions, what drives successful habits? And what are some quick tips for building up my resilience? Both of those were answered previously in episode 1 of the Meditation for Anxiety series. The only way you will be able to ask me your question is by reply emailing me once you're on the list. The sooner you join, the more bonus goodies you'll get, like early access benefits to the 2-Minute Brain app currently in development that takes exercises like the one you just experienced and connects them sequentially with others into fantastic brain-flowing peak performance experiences. It will allow you to become your own mental health and peak performance DJ. Sound good? Really good? Almost too good? Then go sign up now and get all the latest updates from the 2minutebrain.com email list. Okay, riddle me this, Bat Psych. How do I know if I'm depressed? Well, from my point of view, it's actually quite simple. The opposite of depression is expression. Therefore, the question is, how freely are you able to express yourself? The less you are able to express yourself, the more repressed you are, and the accumulation of repression will eventually lead to depression. Now, how freely are you able to smile, to talk, to dance, to sing, to move through the world with a sense of ease? This is why I'm always talking about the importance of creative expression, because it stops repression, which over time can become depression. Even if what you wish to express is painful, that's fine. Through the expression of that pain in a safe way, which is usually through some form of contained artistic expression like writing, painting, or dance, or building something, or a philosophical debate with a close friend, or even fighting if done in a contained sort of martial arts environment, then you process the emotion, make sense of it, and its impact over you will lessen. Now, there is depression as a temporary emotional state, usually indicating there is something you are repressing and or struggling to safely express currently, which we all experience to some degree quite regularly. And I've just outlined one of the best methods to deal with that. And then there is clinical depression, where instead of being temporary, a feeling of sadness and emotional discomfort or numbness is being felt most of the time, and it has been occurring for a minimum of 2 weeks. So to officially diagnose clinical depression, a doctor or psychologist needs to do it. However, in order for you to know if you are likely depressed, you can complete a measure like the HADS, H-A-D-S, which is an anxiety depression scale. The PHQ-9 is a depression scale. The DASS-21, DASS-21, that's also anxiety depression scales. You can find them freely online, and you type them in and you fill them out. And if your scores are elevated, then you should see your family doctor. Once you see a family doctor, you can explore treatment options. Now, from a psychological point of view, finding methods of creative expression will always be one of the best methods of tackling depression, regardless of how severe the condition is. Now, other things to be considered are diet, physical fitness, sleep habits, relationship quality, and common treatment options, including medication, which I personally think should be considered as a later option rather than a first option. A range of different therapy possibilities, obviously psychotherapy, but all kinds of massage and other kinds of things can all help. And forms of brain training, so things like neurofeedback trains your brain to deal with things differently, or brain stimulation, like something called RTMS. So however, the core of it all is always about you being able to safely express what you feel, and by processing such feelings, you can, over time, although you may need therapeutic guidance to do this, build an empowering and more emotionally rich sense of self. Want to ask me your own question? Just go over to 2minutebrain.com and join the email list. At the moment, I'm personally answering people's questions pretty quickly, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on this channel. I'm happy to answer questions on mental health, such as stress, anxiety, mood, painful events, happiness, work-life performance, relationships, intimate, family, friends, kids, and of course the state of the world and why we do what we do. Before we continue, I want to explain what 2-Minute Brain is all about, because it's both as simple and not as simple as it seems. The first and most obvious goal is to offer the fastest and most practical methods to reduce mental health struggles and reach peak performance, so you can meet the demands of this often overwhelming and ultra-competitive modern world. The sad truth is, you do have to learn how to consistently be at your best, or you will be left behind. That's what these speed brain rewiring strategies are all about. These are the essential skills, but that's only the part of the iceberg that's above the surface. The second, much deeper goal is about members of this community reaching their highest forms of self-expression. Here, we are no longer talking about peak performance, but peak freedom. Good living is not just about productively functioning well. It's about wrestling with complex moral issues, paradoxical laws of nature, human contradiction, and seeking profound and immeasurable truths. This is where we dive deeply into the murky depths of existence and seek to free our self-expression. And in true 2-Minute Brain style, I'll also explore these topics just a couple minutes at a time via an impassioned monologue. So stick around if you want to spread your arms wide, crank up Celine Dion to volume 11, and safely explore rather than crash into the iceberg that is human consciousness and potential. We're nearing the end of today's session. Soon, I will summarize it all and get you focused on using what you have found most helpful in one final, fun, and fast meditative exercise. But before the finale, it's time for today's 2-minute monologue, which usually consists of a metaphorical poetic performance where I often intentionally don't give clear advice or answers. That will hopefully stimulate you to also explore and find your own deeper truths within and greater self-expressive courage. It's our 6th Sunday confession. Today's brief poetic monologue is titled, What a Mess, and confesses how I, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, often dream of and strive to do great things and often become lost, confused, and discouraged. And also, what helps to get back on track? What a mess. I must confess, I remain under a form of internal duress. I don't know whether I wear polished armor or a tattered dress. I aim to walk the path, but I too often digress. What a mess. Oh yes, the deviations off course are countless. Decisiveness is the goal, nothing less, except how does one choose wisely with such obscureness? Oh bless, am I lonely? Am I missing the tender caress of a baroness? Was I seeking glory without expecting loneliness? What a mess. Oh yes, the deviations off course are countless. In all seriousness, there is a savageness that can suppress my self-assuredness. Chaos is a seductress of sereneness who often leaves me shirtless and shieldless. She's a stewardess of a seamless stress, no less, with someone that strikes with a suddenness that leaves me powerless. What a mess. Oh yes, the deviations off course are countless. I am leaderless and lusterless. My pluckiness and placidness are perturbed, and I am succumbing to a spirit of portliness. Please deliver me from this purposeless prison of perpetual praiseless and prayerless putridness. What a mess. Oh yes, the deviations off course are countless. Randomness. Is it meaningless? Is perceived free will nothing but cosmic underhandedness? I am too often burdened with a sparseness of thought and a salty spirit of somberness. Where is the kindness within the wilderness? What a mess. Oh yes, the deviations off course are countless. Nevertheless, despite the moments of virtueless vexingness, there is still an aliveness of awareness and an ampleness of audaciousness. Indeed, what a mess. Oh yes, the deviations off course are countless. Nevertheless, there can be a happiness within the heaviness. Life is not heavenless when I address the jadedness and express my gratefulness. So each deviation now becomes priceless. Success. If you're having fun, make sure you like and subscribe and follow this channel, and also go to 2minutebrain.com and join the email list. Now, let's bring all of it meaningfully together in an integrative exercise that will conclude today's session. Sit up tall, shoulders back, head up, and close or shield your eyes if safe to do so. Now listen and follow along closely. Express what you possess. Express what you possess and positively progress in showcasing the miracle that is you. Now consider what you learned today about knowing the core element of overcoming depression and being generally happier. Things like freeing yourself little by little through the accumulation of greater self-expressions, where you smile more, talk with a more authentic voice, strengthen your walk, and find your own rhythms. Finding and utilizing whatever creative pursuits that best suit you, so you can safely process what you experience and enhance or heal whatever you feel, knowing that repression leads to depression, and that safe expression is the key to enriching life. Or something else. Also now consider what you learned today about those messy deviations off course whenever you pursue something worthwhile, and how remaining grateful for the very opportunity to pursue such things can put things in better perspective and give strength. Or maybe now reflect on something else altogether that occurred to you throughout our time today. Of all these things, what most struck a chord and feels right? Envision how you will use this now and in the future, and notice how you will have changed looking back on this moment and the next, all the way until you are where you wish to be. Allow all the lessons now to come together, to ripple through you, and now changed back out into the world. That's right. That's right. To connect with me and the community, just go to 2minutebrain.com and join the email list. You can of course like, rate, subscribe, and follow me on this channel, but to enjoy free giveaways like my best-selling books and programs, which are only available to subscribers through the website, and to personally ask me and get an answer to your own important psychology question, it must be through my free-to-join email list. Questions like, how do you forgive people, family, friends who have hurt you in the past? I'm going to answer that in the next session. And then all the way back from episode 1 of the Meditation for Anxiety series, questions, what drives successful habits, and what are some quick tips for building up my resilience? Both of those were answered previously in episode 1 of the Meditation for Anxiety series. The only way you will be able to ask me your question is by emailing me once you're on the list. The sooner you join, the more bonus goodies you'll get, like early access benefits to the 2-Minute Brain app currently in development that takes exercises like the one you just experienced and connects them sequentially with others into fantastic brain-flowing peak performance experiences. It will allow you to become your own mental health and peak performance DJ. Sound good? Really good? Almost too good? Then go sign up now and get all the latest updates from the 2minutebrain.com email list. And I'll see you, all of you, whether you believe it yet or not, in our next session.